Post GE 2020, after the period of deep reflection, what is the response? Keep calm, press on, and do the things that we have set out to do. I think that has been a guiding light.
Chee Meng has had an illustrious career. He spent 30 years in the Singapore Armed Forces as Chief of Air Force, then rising to Chief of Defence Force. In 2015, he entered politics, standing in Pasir Ris Punggol GLC under the People's Action Party. He had stints as Minister for Education and Transport. In 2018, he became Secretary General of the ntuc. He continued to lead the Labour movement after he lost the 2020 general election, this time in Sengkang GLC. I'm Sumiko of the Straits Times, and we're meeting at the Grocer Food Hall at FairPrice Finance Supermarket in Clarke Quay. Over salmon crepes, he reflects on his SAF days, his Sengkang loss, and whether he'll contest the next GE. What were your years like in the Air Force?
Lots of fun, lots of meaningful work, fulfilling.
What was it about flying that attracted you?
I think the freedom to get away from the bonds of earth, done amongst the clouds. Some poet has described it as almost like touching the face of God.
What sort of planes did you fly?
F-5, F-16s, F-15s, Rafale, Eurofighters. These are the fighter category. Helicopters, I've flown almost everything, the Air Force, the Apache, the Chinook, the Super Pumas, and some of the big planes as well.
You know, having been a fighter pilot, did that make going to politics easier?
I don't know if any professions help you transit to politics any easier. Having run big organizations like the Air Force, it is an advantage to have experienced the different complexities of big organizations where you have to plan out finances, long-term strategies, logistics, engineering, people development, so on and so forth. I suppose, yes, in a way, very useful skill set.
The GE 2020, when you lost Sengkang, how did you react? What was your first reaction when you saw the results?
I suppose it was a profound sense of having let the party down, having let ntuc down, the supporters and residents. I think that was the overarching sense of feeling in post-GE 2020. But I suppose the bounce back is probably the more important thing. Obviously, a setback is part and parcel of life. And what probably matters even more is our response to it. So the mantra that I always tell people, do the right thing, do things right, do your best. Let the outcomes take care of themselves.
Did you spend a lot of time post-morteming the Sengkang election in your mind?
Maybe for 3 months, 6 months, you will have a quiet moment and say, wow, could I have done better here or there? But always in parallel to other things that were more pressing, more important. You must remember that was COVID period.
Were you disappointed with Sengkang residents?
No, I think this is part and parcel of the democratic process. Our system allows every citizen to have their own choice. We work within the system, and it is a good system that we have put in place, and we do the very best within that.
A lot of political observers are wondering if you would go back, into politics in 2025.
2025. Have I left politics? No. I would say that it's on the table. I'm prepared if asked.
You've been in ntuc since 2018. You steered ntuc through COVID years. What was that like?
Thankfully, we have this innovation culture, simple idea to actually encourage workers, making an impact across low-wage workers, freelancers, a world first in a platform bill, women coming back to the workforce, flexible work arrangements, seniors looking for options or choices, whether you want to continue working or whatever else you want to do, part-time work. I think we have done many of those things to really help workers of all creeds.
What do you see as some of the key concerns of workers?
A large part of it has to be wages. Cost of living issues in the last few years. It's not just better wages that people are looking forward to that, but also what is my work tomorrow. So ntuc has stepped in these spaces for work prospects. One of them is our company training committee, really looking at the interests of businesses, wanting higher productivity, better business, workers wanting better wages, better work prospects. How do we marry the two? With the government participating in this with a CTC grant, business owners come to us wanting to tap on our expertise in operations, technology road mapping, and importantly pair with leaders that in their workforce to actually make it happen.
How easy is it to get an older worker to reskill?
When you mean older, 50s, 60s, not necessarily easy. But I'm encouraged by my taxi and private hire folks. Many of the private hire folks were previously taxi drivers. And many of my brothers initially, no, I really do not want to have the technology competing with me. Through different copy sessions, we tell them the app can actually improve your productivity. You don't have to drive around, burn petrol. You have a larger avenue of not just hands waving you down, but apps coming in to tell you that you have a customer. And we took that, we partnered with Comfort Delgro. I think within a year, we moved 10,000 taxi drivers to really embrace the apps. I think today the ratios have flipped completely. Almost 100% of them are comfortable with the app.
What lessons can we learn from the Income Allianz saga?
Well, I think everything was done in good faith, and the business reasons where Income wants to find strength in a very competitive environment is a right one. We also respect the views of government and the many feedbacks that we also gotten from the public. So really, it is now time to reconstitute, take in all the different views and see what we can do better. But the longer term challenge of Income remains that in any crisis where major inject of funds are needed to sustain income, well, that remains a business worry. So yes, we will have to plan forward.
Thank you very much for having lunch.
Thank you, Sumiko.
I think I'm a very driven person. I don't know where that came from. I always, really enjoyed improving and mastering things, and